Not all Libras are born carrying the same kind of power. And if you have arrived here, your soul already knows this truth. The world teaches a simple story about Libra: charming, indecisive, peacekeeping, a beautiful presence meant to soften rooms and smooth conflicts. But that story was never complete. It was a mask designed to make others comfortable. Beneath it lives something far more dangerous and far more sacred. All Libras are ruled by Venus. That part is true, but Venus does not express herself the same way every day she rises in the sky. From September 23rd to October 22nd, her energy evolves, deepens, sharpens, and intensifies. Libra is not static. Libra is a progression, a journey, a scale that grows heavier with truth as the days pass. Certain Libras are born carrying a weight others never touch, a hidden authority, a quiet dominance, a form of power that does not announce itself, yet rearranges reality the moment it enters a room. These are the Libras who never fully fit the stereotype, the ones accused of being too much or too intense for a sign known for harmony. This transmission exists to reveal that hidden power by birth date, to show how the strongest Libra is not defined by charm alone, but by timing pressure and cosmic placement. And most importantly, to reveal why the final Libra birth dates hold the peak of Venusian force. Stay until the end. Some truths only unlock once the full scale is revealed. These Libras are born at the threshold. The door has just opened, and the air still carries the precision of Virgo. Nothing here is accidental. Every movement is measured. Every silence is intentional. This is where Libra enters the world quietly, already watching, already calculating. Those born between September 23rd and September 27th carry a rare blend. The logic of Virgo sharpens the grace of Libra into something surgical. Their minds move like chess players who never rush a piece. They observe before they act. They listen longer than others are comfortable with. And while the room believes nothing is happening, everything is being mapped. Their hidden power by birth date is strategic intelligence, not the loud kind, not the kind that seeks validation. This Libra reads gestures, pauses, and micro-expressions the way others read sentences. Lies do not survive long in their presence. Inconsistencies expose themselves. Motives surface without being questioned. They do not confront immediately. They wait. Timing is their weapon. The strongest Libra born in this window rarely dominates a room, yet somehow the room begins to organize itself around them. Conversations soften, chaos slows, decisions become clearer simply because they are present. This is silent magnetism, authority without force, influence without demand. They lead without imposing, and control without revealing their hand. People often mistake them for reserved, even passive. That is the illusion. Beneath it lives a mind that sees several outcomes ahead and has already chosen the most efficient path. They do not gamble, they position. Emotionally, these Libras are disciplined. They feel deeply, but they do not leak. Their inner world is private, protected, like a vault. Trust is earned slowly. Once given, it is precise and deliberate. They do not attach blindly. They assess. In relationships and power dynamics, they rarely chase. They attract through stability. Others feel safer around them without knowing why. Their presence carries order like a table set before a meal arrives. Everything is ready. Nothing is rushed. This group forms the foundation of Libra's evolution. They are the architects, the ones who quietly prepare the scales before weight is added. Without them, balance would never hold. But this is only the beginning. Soon charm will awaken, and the scales will start to glow. Now the scales are fully lit. This is Libra in its purest form, where Venus steps forward without restraint. Those born between September 28th and October 2nd carry an unmistakable glow. It is not learned. It is not practiced. It is remembered. Their presence feels familiar, like a melody the room already knows how to follow. The strongest Libra in this window moves through life with magnetic ease. People open up around them without realizing why. Doors unlock. Invitations arrive. Allies appear at exactly the right moment. This is hidden power by birth date, expressed as attraction rather than force. They do not chase opportunity, opportunity recognizes them. Their charm is not shallow, it is energetic intelligence. They sense emotional currents instantly and adjust without effort. They know when to speak, when to pause, and when silence will carry more weight than words. Conversations bend toward harmony around them. Conflict loses its sharp edges. People feel seen, heard, and chosen. This Libra influences by making others believe they arrived at conclusions on their own. That is the secret. Persuasion without pressure, guidance without command. The strongest Libra here never needs to insist. Agreement forms naturally in their orbit. Yet this gift carries a warning. When magnetism is this strong, intention matters. Used unconsciously, it can become manipulation. Used defensively, it can become avoidance. Used wisely, it becomes creation. These Libras are meant to unite people, not control them. Their life purpose is not conquest, but elevation. Emotionally, they crave beauty and balance in all things. Harsh environments drain them. Disharmony disrupts their inner rhythm. They are at their best when they are aligned with values that feel clean, fair, and sincere. When they betray that alignment, the glow dims. When they honor it, the world responds. In relationships, they are adored easily, but understood less often. Many are drawn to them for how they feel, not for who they are. This teaches discernment. Not every admirer deserves access. Not every open door should be entered. This group represents the moment Libra realizes its power to attract. The scales are no longer just balanced. They are beautiful, and beauty becomes influence. But beauty alone cannot carry destiny. Soon depth will arrive, and charm will be tested by transformation. Here, Libra deepens. The light remains, but it now carries weight. Those born between October 3rd and October 7th do not simply attract, they change people. Not through force, not through instruction, through presence alone. This is where the strongest Libra begins to understand consequence. Life no longer moves gently. Experiences arrive with pressure. Loss, disappointment, and emotional complexity become teachers rather than interruptions. What others would call hardship becomes initiation. Each challenge sharpens perception. Each ending creates vision. Their hidden power by birth date is invisible influence. People leave conversations with them altered, even if nothing dramatic was said. Beliefs shift. Defenses soften. Courage awakens. They see what others could become and reflect it back with unsettling accuracy. Many will not be ready for that mirror. These Libras carry emotional intelligence forged through lived experience. They know pain because they have walked through it. They know resilience because they have rebuilt themselves more than once. There is a quiet gravity to them. They listen with their whole being. When they speak, words land where they are meant to. This group often becomes mentors, guides, or healers without seeking the role. Others confide in them instinctively. Secrets surface. Burdens are shared. Not because this Libra demands vulnerability, but because their presence feels safe enough to hold it. They do not rush transformation. They understand timing. They allow people to arrive at truth rather than dragging them toward it. That patience is power. It creates loyalty. It creates trust that cannot be forced. Internally, these Libras live with depth that few recognize. They may appear calm on the surface, but inside they carry entire oceans of reflection. They question meaning. They seek purpose. They do not accept shallow answers. This can make them feel older than their years and lonelier than they admit. In relationships, they are selective. Connection must feel real. Performative harmony no longer satisfies them. They want substance. They want growth. Anything stagnant feels unbearable. This phase marks the moment Libra stops trying to please and starts trying to understand. The scales no longer balance appearances. They balance truth. But truth brings weight, and soon that weight will turn into authority. This is where Libra's presence becomes undeniable. Those born between October 8th and October 12th carry a gravity that shifts rooms the moment they enter. The softness people expect from Libra is still there, but it has been reinforced with conviction. There is no uncertainty in their energy, no hesitation in their gaze. The strongest Libra in this window does not ask for permission. They decide. Their hidden power by birth date expresses itself as dominant magnetism. People feel drawn and challenged at the same time. Attraction and intimidation exist side by side. This is not accidental. It is authority forming. These Libras break the stereotype of indecision completely. When they commit, they move with clarity and speed. Doubt has already been processed internally. By the time action arrives, the decision is settled. Others sense this and respond. Some follow, some resist. Both reactions confirm the same truth. Leadership has entered the space. Emotionally, they are intense, but controlled. They feel deeply, yet they do not allow emotion to rule their actions. Instead, emotion fuels determination. Passion becomes focus. Desire becomes direction. This makes them capable of achieving outcomes others consider unreachable. Their influence works through presence and certainty. They do not need to convince endlessly. Their confidence becomes contagious. People align because alignment feels inevitable. This Libra sets a pace others naturally fall into. Yet this power demands responsibility. Used without awareness, it can slip into domination. Used defensively, it can create fear rather than respect. The life lesson here is restraint. True leadership does not crush, it steadies. In relationships, these Libras require equality. They will not shrink to maintain harmony. They expect strength to meet strength. Anything less feels unbalanced. Loyalty matters deeply to them, and betrayal is rarely forgiven. This group represents Libra stepping fully into command. The scales are no longer only balancing, they are directing. Momentum replaces hesitation. Influence replaces negotiation. But authority alone is not the final form. Soon wisdom will arrive, and power will be weighed by justice. This is the moment Libra becomes the scale itself. Those born between October 13th and October 17th carry a presence that feels settled, measured, and unshakable. They do not rush to speak. They do not rush to judge. They see the full structure before placing weight on either side. The strongest Libra in this window holds hidden power by birth date, through balance and justice. This is not neutrality, this is clarity. They can see opposing truths at the same time without becoming confused or fragmented. Where others polarize, they integrate. Where others react, they assess. Their authority comes from wisdom rather than force. People trust them instinctively, not because they are loud, but because they are fair. When they speak, it feels final, not because it is imposed, but because it rings true. They often become mediators, advisors, or quiet leaders whose guidance carries lasting impact. Emotionally, these Libras carry a strong moral compass. They are deeply affected by injustice, hypocrisy, and imbalance. They feel responsible for restoring order, even when it costs them comfort. This sense of duty can become heavy. They often carry more than they should, believing it is theirs to hold. Their challenge is rigidity. When balance becomes obsession, flexibility can be lost. When responsibility becomes identity, joy can fade. The lesson here is to remember that justice also includes self-compassion. The scales must weigh inward as well as outward. In relationships, they are steady and reliable. They do not play games. They expect honesty and consistency. When trust is broken, it is not anger that ends the connection. It is certainty. Once the scales tip too far, return is rare. This Libra influences without pressure. People seek their opinion and follow it because it feels anchored. Their presence calms chaos and clarifies confusion. They are often the final voice in moments that matter. This group represents maturity, power refined into principle, influence shaped into legacy. The scales are no longer searching for balance. They embody it. Yet even balance must evolve. Soon mystery will rise, and the final transformation will begin. This is the final chamber of Libra. The air is different here, denser, quieter. Those born between October 18th and October 22nd stand at the threshold between harmony and depth, where Libra begins to dissolve into something more dangerous and more powerful. This is the Libra to Scorpio transition, and it is not gentle. The strongest Libra in this window carries hidden power by birth date, as intensity wrapped in control. Their emotions are clear, not chaotic. Their decisions are decisive, not impulsive. There is a quiet certainty in how they move, as if they already know how most stories end. Mystery surrounds them, because not everything about them is meant to be seen. Their intuition is sharp. They read what is unspoken with ease. Motives, desires, and hidden agendas reveal themselves quickly in their presence. They do not need proof. They feel truth in the body before it reaches the mind. This makes deception difficult around them, and honesty unavoidable. These Libras combine sweetness with firmness seamlessly. They can be warm without being naive, and strong without being cruel. This balance creates a powerful emotional gravity. People feel drawn into their orbit, yet aware that crossing boundaries will have consequences. Respect forms naturally. In relationships, they are passionate but selective. They do not give access easily. When they commit, it is complete. Loyalty is absolute. Betrayal, however, ends the bond entirely. There is no indecision here. Once the scale tips, it does not swing back. This group represents the final evolution of Libra. The lessons of charm, depth, leadership, and justice have all been integrated. What remains is essence. They are bridges between light and shadow, harmony and intensity. They understand that balance is not softness, it is precision. They often feel different from other Libras, too intense, too perceptive, too final. That is because they carry the closing energy of the sign. They are not here to begin cycles. They are here to complete them. This is Libra, at the edge of transformation. And beyond this edge, the full journey will finally reveal its meaning. There is no single way to be Libra. What you have just witnessed is not a list of traits, but a living progression of power, a journey that unfolds through time, pressure, and awareness. From the quiet strategist at the beginning, to the magnetic unifier, to the silent transformer, the commanding leader, the keeper of justice, and finally the enigmatic finisher. Each phase exists for a reason. Each birth period carries a specific assignment. The strongest Libra is not the loudest, the softest, or the most admired. Strength is shaped by timing, by what the soul was prepared to carry at the moment of entry into this world. From September 23rd to October 22nd, Libra evolves from balance as a concept into balance as lived truth. Charm becomes discernment. Harmony becomes authority. Beauty becomes consequence. Every Libra is here to correct imbalance in some form. In relationships, in systems, in spaces where things have tipped too far in one direction. Some do this quietly. Some do it through influence. Some do it through decisive endings. No stage is higher than another. They are sequential, not competitive. Each one completes a necessary function in the greater design. The real question is not which Libra is strongest. The question is this: where are you standing on the scale right now?